FitLabPGH back with another video podcast. Our ethos is we believe movement is a lifestyle, not just an activity. As you can see, pudding is part of our lifestyle, hence the dog hair covered fleece pants. But we wanted to talk a little bit today, since we had about a foot of snow over the past week, about getting outside and literally making sure you don't fall on your, as Forrest Gump would say, buttocks. So we've got a variety of shoes over here. We'll talk a little bit about them. We've got right here what you can use for trails or for roads if you're a really efficient runner when there's not ice and snow on the roads. These are from Carson's. Just to note that I have a sponsorship or a discount from Carson. Love them for shoes. Not super good with the mesh when there's snow and there's wetness. Very comfortable shoes. These are the Iguana Racers. Highly recommend them for knock around if you're a pretty efficient runner. However, everybody wants to run on trails, or not everybody, but if you've got dogs, the dogs like to run on trails. You run on trails, you can see some deer, you can see rabbits, and sometimes you can hashtag get off the beaten path and just get away from people. Big fans of a variety of running shoes. Sometimes I use the Carsons if I want something that's a little beefier. These happen to be from Altra. These are the Altra Lone Peaks. It's actually the first pair of zero drop shoes I ever got. Very, very durable, aggressive sole. They have mesh just like the Carsons, very wide just like the Carsons if you have a wide forefoot. Very, very comfortable. However, now we've got like a foot of snow on the ground and there's ice and snow, and because we hit a patch of black ice and Puddin got excited and I almost lost my balance and fell on my keister. So one of the things we found is when it gets wet out, there are a variety of companies out there that make shoes that are waterproof. These happen to be from Topo. And one of the other things I found, if there's places where there's ice, obviously waterproof shoes are good to keep your feet dry. The other thing that's really, really important is having a good grip on the soles. And there's a variety of shoe soles out there. But across the board, what I found is if you've got Vibram soles on your shoes, doesn't mean you're not going to fall down. But if there's ice, if it's a little bit slick, I've found over time, Topos with Vibram soles. There's a brand, or also Altra that we mentioned, that also has a model with Vibram soles. They have really good traction. You're less likely to fall. Now, if you find you're still slipping with Vibrams, there are a variety of things that you can slip on your shoes or pull on them. These are glare-up slippers. I'm not going to wear it with these, but they pull on and stay on. They have little carbide bits on them. There are a number of companies out there that make them. I actually found these in the local Ace Hardware, Miller's Ace Hardware. And what they do is you can pretty much walk on solid ice and keep your traction. Now, I obviously don't walk on solid ice because typically when I'm out walking, hiking, running, I've got the yellow Labrador and the black Labrador over there who's taking a nap. But the key thing about all of these different types of shoes is when you get outside versus going to a gym or running in your pain dungeon in your basement or your one room you've set aside for working out, that's just not as exciting as going out. We were out today. It was sleeting a little bit. The roads were a little slick. The trail was a little slick. We got to see a snowman. We got to see a rabbit. We got to see some deer. And when you get outside, whether you do forest bathing, whether you run near the water, one of the things about getting outside with the fresh air is it just gives you a different outlook on life. So the big message from FitLab Pittsburgh is move more, move often, because whether you're two-legged or four-legged, movement is a lifestyle, not just an activity. So as we go into 2021, make movement a priority, not something you do after you've done everything else.